This is Dr. Fraser Horn with Sports Vision Pros.
And this is Eric Pitkanen, Head Athletic Trainer, Pacific University.
So I feel very fortunate in the fact that I get to work alongside Eric Pitkanen, helping out our student athletes. And he's really the head of all of the care that we give in sports medicine. And but some of that is also a discussion that we have together of what are your expectations. So for those optometrists and athletic trainers out there, and anybody, there are a certain level of expectations. What would be your expectations when working with optometrists?
First and foremost is part of my staff. So I treat all of my doctors as part of my staff, and doesn't mean an optometrist doesn't contribute in a certain way that we don't have access to. For me, having an optometrist that I can call and bounce ideas off of I have an athlete with this going on and this going on, what can I do with that? For me, one of the biggest things we use our optometrists for is post-concussive rehab and assessment, because we don't have the tools that they do. And we've found out that as I've gotten older in this business, that a lot of the post-concussive symptoms come from an inability of your focusing system to relax right. So we have a really high level of recovery on our student athletes because they get in and they get care faster. So that's one of the biggest things that we need. And like any other team physician, just collaboration, teaching me things that I don't know. I've learned how to put in a contact lens and take one out because I've worked with our optometrists. I think that's a huge skill that athletic trainers aren't taught. And so learning how to do that for an athlete that may have gloves on, may have dirty hands, sweaty hands, rain, mud, whatever. Also just learning how to do some special techniques like how do you remove something from an eye that I didn't know, or how to identify ocular injuries that may or may not be serious in nature. And for me, calling you at 6 o'clock at night, hey, I've got an athlete that might have a hyphema, can you come down and take a look at that for me? And that's a big part of how we provide the best care to our student athletes just overall.
Absolutely, and I will tell you, they do an amazing job. So we have had that call of the hyphema, and they're right, it's a hyphema, right? So it's an easy way for us to work together and collaborate and get the best care for those student athletes to get them back on the pitch.
Yeah, and for us, we've been able to develop a better line of care for our athletes because we've incorporated that into our preseason screenings. I think we do some of the most comprehensive preseason screenings where all of our athletes get a baseline vision exam while they're doing their check-in day, which identifies that we had an athlete that came in was blind in one eye that we didn't know about, or an athlete with keratoconus that we didn't know about that needed special contact lenses, so that then we can have a better talk of how do we to protect that athlete in the long term. So I think that we've got a really nice ability to then use that for our concussion post baseline injury too. So all of those athletes can then go see optometry and they've got a baseline exam, so we know what we're looking at.
Absolutely. So for me, I think the beauty is I have no problem being available because I think it's a wonderful team that we're a part of. It's great working with athletic training as well as sports medicine, chiropractor, and all of them, because we all work together to help our athletes. So thank you for letting us be a part of it.
It's been a pleasure and it's been fun.